Hey guys, it's Dan from beagameCharacter.com, and today we're going to talk about nutrition. Before we go any further, you need one crucial piece of equipment, okay? And that's a food journal. You need to figure out when and where you're going to keep your food journal, okay? It can be a notebook that you carry around with you everywhere you go. It could be notes in your smartphone. There are smartphone apps for setting up a food journal. It could be just a Word file on your laptop or on some cloud storage system like Google Drive or something. But somewhere you need to have a place where you can write down what you eat every day. So whatever it takes, pause the video, go get something, then come back. Okay, so you got your food journal? Good. That's step one. Step one, obtain a food journal. Okay, you're going to divide it up into 4 different categories: calories, fats, protein, and carbohydrates. Okay, that's all that I care about right now. That's all you should care about right now. 4 categories: calories, fat, protein, carbohydrates. Once you've done that, you're ready to move on to step 2. Okay, step 2, in your food journal, I want you to write down your goal. Okay, whatever your goal is. If you have a certain weight that you want to drop weight to, say you're 200 pounds, you want to get down to 150. Okay, good goal. Okay, make sure it's measurable. If you are really skinny, if you weigh 150 pounds, you want to put on some muscle. Say, I want to weigh 185 pounds and I want it to be good muscle, low body fat percentage. Write that down. That's fine. But write down your goal in your food journal right now. Okay, so step 1, get a food journal, set it up with calories, fat, protein, carbohydrates. Step 2, write down your goal in your food journal. That's the most important thing of all. You need to know what you're working towards. Once you've got that done, then we have step 3. Step 3, you need to figure out your daily caloric maintenance requirements, okay? That's how many calories it takes to power your body for the day and have everything stay the same, not lose weight, gain weight, whatever. Now, there are lots of calculators online to figure this out. I link my favorite one in the description below. So again, pause the video, go down, click that link, and figure out what your daily maintenance requirements are. Okay, so you got your calorie maintenance level. Take 200 calories off that right now, because everybody overestimates their physical activity during the day, okay? Unless you are running marathons, you probably put down too much physical activity. You probably don't spend as much time doing physical activity as you think. So take your daily caloric maintenance level that the calculator gave you and knock 200 calories off of it right there. That is your daily calorie maintenance level. Okay, so once you figure that out, write that all down. Okay, you have your food journal with your different categories, you have your goal, and you have on the top, you have your daily calorie maintenance requirements. Mine, it's 2,200 calories a day. That's what I take. Now, so that's step 1, food journal. Step 2, goal. Step 3, daily requirements. And then step 4, figure out your game plan. Now we're going somewhere. So, what's our game plan? In this modern day and age, people really like to overcomplicate nutrition. It's a great way to sell products, it's a great way to sell plans, it's a great way to buy into fads, okay? You have a billion different terms coming at you. You've got high fat, you've got high calories, you've got low calories, you've got high carbohydrates, high protein, you've got ketogenics, you've got, the Atkins diet, you have Paleo, you've got NutriFast, you've got MetaFast, you have Jenny Craig, you've got a billion different things flying at you all at once. And all of them want to believe the myth that details matter. Here's the thing. Details matter a little bit, but what really matters is calories. Eat less, work out more, lose weight. Eat more, work out more, gain weight, all right, like muscle. If you want to lose weight, you have to eat less and you have to exercise more. If you want to gain weight, you have to eat more and you definitely have to exercise more. Now, what do I mean by more or less? In order to lose a pound of weight, you have to burn 3,500 calories. 3,500 calories is approximately 1 pound of weight. If you want to lose a pound a week, you need to burn 500 extra calories a day. So whatever your daily caloric maintenance requirements are, okay, mine are 2,200, I need to consume 1,700 calories a day and I will lose a pound in a week, approximately. Okay, so you need to figure out where you want to go. You don't want to try and lose more than 3 pounds a week. That's unhealthy, okay? 1 to 2 pounds is generally what you want to do. So you want to knock 500 to 1,000 calories off of your daily maintenance requirements, and that's how many calories you should be eating in a day. So take a minute, do the math right now, figure out how many calories do I need to eat in a day, assuming everything else stays the same, my fitness, blah, 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 in order to lose the weight that I want to lose. If you're looking to gain weight, you want to do the reverse. You need to figure out how many calories you want to add on. Now, chances are you don't want to try and gain a pound or two a week, because you're not going to gain that much in muscle. A lot of that is going to be fat. So you probably want to go maybe 200 to 400 calories over your daily caloric requirements every day. And you want to make sure that that stuff comes from good fats, high quality protein. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So you've paused, you've figured out what your goal is every day. So that's your number you're shooting for. All you care about right now is, I want to eat 1,700 calories a day so that I lose 1 pound a week. Or I want to eat 1,200 calories a day so I lose 2 pounds a week. Or I want to eat 2,400 calories a day so I gain a half a pound a week or so. Moving on. Now, what we really care about here is nutrition density. A lot of the fad that's going on right now is that carbohydrates are bad. Carbohydrates are not inherently bad. Your body actually usually needs carbohydrates to run. Your brain runs off of carbohydrates, your muscles use carbohydrates for fuel. Carbohydrates are important. The main issue is that most modernized countries have grains as the foundation of their diet. Ever since the agricultural revolution, we rely a lot on cereal grains, you know, rice, wheat, barley, oats, that kind of stuff. Now, those foods are not inherently bad, but the problem is they're pretty nutritionally deficit. Even if you get whole grain stuff, it's mostly carbohydrates. You know, you're not getting that much protein, you're getting some fiber, you're really not getting much in the way of fats at all. And your body needs proteins and fats. So if you fill up on carbohydrates all the time, your body's still gonna be craving food because it knows it's missing 2 other parts of the, 3 pillars that your body needs, which is carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So if you eat grains all the time, you're going to find yourself hungry all the time and eating way more calories than you need to. What you really want to start doing is trying to get your carbohydrates more from vegetables than from grains. Vegetables actually have a good amount of carbohydrates in them, and fruits have carbohydrates as well, although they're simple sugars, so they're not as complex. They burn off very quickly. So you really want vegetables and fruits to be the cornerstone of your diet. You want to be that vegetable or fruit with every single meal that you have. Moving from there, you want to have lean protein pretty often. You want to have some sort of animal protein if you can, unless you're a vegetarian. We'll cover that in a bit. You want, chicken. White meat chicken is great. Lean cuts of beef, all right? Not fatty stuff like blend and broil stuff. You want stuff like top round or sirloin tip or something like that. You want to have good fats, which come from stuff like nuts and olive products, olive oil, stuff like that. Even peanut products have some good fats. You want to integrate all those things and stop relying so much on grains. They're still okay to have sometimes. I mean, I love oatmeal in the morning. That's great. Whole grains, some protein, some fiber, that's good. But you don't want to be eating grains every meal, which if you look right now, you probably are. The last thing you want to make sure that you're doing is you want to make sure that you're drinking 1/2 to 1 gallon of water a day. Okay, that's very important. You want to drink lots of water, keep your body hydrated, it keeps your digestive system regular, it keeps everything working properly. A lot of people don't drink enough water in a day. And you want to stay clear of, soda, even diet soda, juice you want to drink. You're just drinking liquid calories there. And in the case of diet soda, the artificial sweetener usually actually makes you hungrier, which kind of defeats the purpose. So, 1/2 gallon to 1 gallon of water a day. Drink water, don't drink other stuff. Maybe once in a while a glass of orange juice or something, that's fine. Okay, so we have the beginnings of our game plan. We know how many calories we want in a day. We know the building blocks of what we want to eat, right? Veggies, fruit first, then lean protein, good fats, and then, dairy, grains, the other stuff. All right, we know how much water we want to drink in a day, 1/2 gallon to 1 gallon, all right? So now we got the basic building blocks. Now what you want to make sure is this is when you start keeping a food journal, okay? The food journal is really important because you're not going to keep track of all this in your head, all right? You have to write it down, at least for the first couple of weeks so you get an idea of where you're at. There's no excuse right now in this modern age with, smartphones and laptops and all this fancy stuff. You can go on Google, search for something, and get the nutrition facts on it like that, okay? Almost anything, even pre-made food, you can search lasagna, basic nutrition facts, and get something pretty close. So we have our basic idea for our game plan hashed out now. We have how many calories we want to take in a day, right? Either 500 under what your maintenance is or maybe 200 over. We know we want to make vegetables and fruits the cornerstone of our diet and move up from there. Get some lean protein, you know, good fats and oils. Then comes the dairy and the grains, stuff like that. We know how much water we want to drink in a day. You want to get a half gallon to a gallon worth of water every day. So from here, we need to go one step further. We need to start pre-planning our days, especially early on in your new lifestyle. I don't want to call it a diet, in your new eating lifestyle. You need to think about what you're going to eat probably the day before you eat it. Because if you go to some place not knowing what you're going to get, you're going to be like, oh, that looks tasty, I'll grab some of that. And ooh, I love some of that food. And oh, mac and cheese is my favorite food in the whole world. It actually is. But you're going to eat way too much and you're not going to realize that you're doing it. You need to take time, sit down and say, what is it I'm going to eat this day? What is I'm going to eat this week? You know, if you can cook food in bulk, I love to get a whole bunch of chicken breast or some lean steak or something like that and just cook it all up in one go, throw it in the fridge. I can microwave it anytime, throw it in little, you know, Ziploc bags or something and go ahead and pack it for work, microwave it real quickly, and it's just an instant healthy meal right there for me. So you need to figure out what you're going to eat, and it gives you time to measure out the calories, protein, fat, and carbohydrates beforehand so you know exactly what to put in your food journal. And that way you go into each day prepared. If you figure out where you're going to eat the day before you eat it, it's very, very hard to go over your caloric requirements unless you're consciously, intentionally doing it, in which case you might want to work on your willpower a bit. So we have our game plan. We know we want to pre-make our food. And now we want to figure out how we eat it, all right? There's a lot of different recommendations. Most people agree that you should eat 5 or 6 times a day, small meals. Guess what? I don't care about that. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I find that my work schedule means that I get lunch 1 time a day. You know, I get breakfast and then I get lunch and then in the evening I get dinner. That's the way a lot of people have to eat. So if you have to divide it up into 3 meals, that's fine. Just stick to those calorie requirements. I don't care about when you eat, I just care about sticking to your calorie requirements. Finally, watch out. Chances are you're starting a new fitness program too if you're a fan of the blog. And when you start a new fitness program, you are inherently going to be hungrier. When you go on a caloric reduction diet, you are going to be hungrier. It's going to happen. Get used to it. You will adapt in a week or two. For that first week or two though, it's going to be hard. You're going to be hungry. You're going to have to deal with it and say, it's all right. Drink lots of water. That will help. And just visualize your goal. That's why you write it down in your food journal. Every time you open up your food journal, you should see your goal right there and chart your progress. You know, you lose a pound, write that down. I lost a pound this week, you know. Make sure that you always have that visual reminder of what you're shooting for. So, let's move on to our user suggested questions, okay? First, Steve Barnes asked about whey protein shakes. Now, I'm going to do a full write-up this Thursday on whey protein shakes because there's a lot of stuff you can do with them. But bottom line, whey protein is a great, cheap way to add extra protein to your diet. It may look like a lot when you're spending 30 bucks on a tub of it, but honestly, if that $30 lasts you a month, you know, you are getting huge amounts of protein every day for like $1 a day. Now, there's 3 different kinds of whey protein that you're going to find. There's whey protein concentrate, isolate, and hydrolyzed whey protein. Really fancy words. All they mean is fast, faster, and fastest, okay? Whey protein concentrate will digest relatively fast. Isolate is broken down into smaller pieces so you'll digest it faster, and hydrolyzed is broken down into even smaller pieces so you'll digest it even faster. Honestly, unless you're a professional bodybuilder, it really doesn't matter that much. Good source of protein, you take it down, you take it in, you'll be fine. Whey protein, if you buy it in bulk. Get it online if you can. There's some good places to go. You gotta search around for deals because typically one place has a sale or another place has a sale. But concentrate is gonna be cheaper than isolate, so you can go with whey protein concentrate to save some bucks if you need to. And it'll last you a long time. It's a really good way to supplement your diet, low calorie, high protein, very good. Next question we had was on ketogenics, okay? Ketogenics is a fancy new diet fad kind of that was originally designed for epileptics, you know, years ago. Epileptic children were put on a ketogenic diet and it was found to help a lot of them in reducing their seizures. Ketogenics is basically putting your body into a state called ketosis, okay? Your body normally runs off of carbohydrates, as I said before. Your brain runs off of carbohydrates, your muscles run off of carbohydrates, they use it as fuel. When your body enters ketosis, it's because you've reduced your carbohydrates in your diet so much that your body is adapting to using fats for fuel instead of carbohydrates. So mostly medium chain fats, which is stuff found in like coconut oil and stuff like that. All kinds of the fancy exotic oils. But you'll get some, you can break down your long chain fats from meat and stuff like that into medium chain fats as well. It works for some people. Some people it doesn't work, you know? I mean, honestly, you're gonna be eating bacon a lot. But in all seriousness, ketogenics is not a bad diet. The whole idea is high fat, medium protein, super low carbohydrates. It's a bit of an extreme. I wouldn't recommend it just because it's a weird diet, and if you go off of it at all, you're gonna screw yourself up, okay? As soon as you start to reincorporate carbohydrates into your diet, even if you just have a plate of pasta one night when you go out to dinner, it'll screw up your diet. So ketogenics, I wouldn't really recommend for the average layperson. You know, if you want to look into it, do a lot of research, make sure you know what you're going into before you try it. So, one of our readers on Facebook, Dylan Frost, actually suggested paleo, talking about the paleo diet. Now, paleo is another big diet that's coming out right now, and it's based on the assumption that our bodies haven't evolved enough since the advent of agriculture to really properly digest the grains and the dairy that came from the agriculture movement. They're based around the idea of, you know, eat lots of veggies, lots of fruit, lots of meat, nuts, stuff like that. Steer clear of dairy, steer clear of cereal grains, anything that comes from, you know, wheat, you know, blah, blah, blah. Steer clear of legumes, which is beans, you know, peanut products, stuff like that. Now, it sounds familiar to what we were talking about earlier with our game plan. You know, we have veggie base, veggie and fruits, and then, you know, meat, good fats like nuts, oils, stuff like that. And then we move into, you know, grains, dairy stuff. So it's not a bad diet. Paleo is not a bad diet to be on. I just think it's a little extreme. Personally, I like my grains. I like them in moderation. You know, as long as you stay within your caloric requirements, it shouldn't matter that much. Now, what I do like about paleo is that they have the 15-85 rule, okay? So that means that 15% of the time you don't have to eat paleo. The other 85% of the time you do. So if you want to eat something that's not quite paleo-centric when you go out to dinner or something, that's fine. You get a couple of cheat meals a week. And I like this because expecting anybody to conform to 100% of a certain plan, especially when they're first starting out, is difficult. That's why I don't like ketogenics that much, because, you know, you slip up once and, you know, there's this big mental defeat and stuff. It's not good. Paleo is cool because they have the 15-85 rule, and I like that a lot. So if you want to look into paleo, I can recommend it. It's a good diet. You're not going to get, you know, health problems. There hasn't been anything major research that's wrong with paleo diets. It's a little strict, but if it's your cup of tea, go for it. Finally, we had our friend Alone Trans on Tumblr ask about protein without meat. Now, there are probably some vegetarians out there watching this right now, and that's cool. Vegetarianism, not bad, all right? I like veggies, as I've said before. So you want to find some protein without going into meat. First of all, if you are a lacto-vegetarian, that is a vegetarian that's able to eat dairy products, you're in luck, because whey protein, a byproduct of the cheese making process, just comes from milk. So if you're cool with eating dairy, whey protein all the way. Get a protein shake, do a protein shake or two a day, you'll be set. You don't even need to worry about it beyond that. If you are not a lacto-vegetarian, which is fine, you know, and you don't have any other options, you can go with beans, legumes, stuff like that. Anything from the legume family. That's peanuts, lentils, beans, chickpeas, stuff like that. Soybeans, all really good sources of protein from the vegetable world. You also need to look to pick up your fats from somewhere else because you're not eating animals, so you need to have probably avocado as a great source. Okay, olive products, anything from olives, you know, olive oil, olives themselves, that sort of stuff, very, very good for you, good fats. Also nuts, walnuts in particular, great source of fats. Walnuts are really good. Macadamia nuts, fatty nuts, really good, good stuff. Those will also give you some protein too. Just watch the caloric load on those, watch your serving size, because nuts have a lot of calories in them. Again, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to make sure you keep track of your calories. Also, if you're an ovo-vegetarian, that means you eat eggs and you don't eat dairy, but you eat eggs and vegetables. Eggs, great source, all right? Egg whites in particular, a very good source of high protein. And you know, you might as well eat the whole egg if you're a vegetarian because you need the fats anyway. They're good for you. Get the fats from the yolk, all right? Don't worry about the high cholesterol because it's going to offset itself with your vegetarian diet. It doesn't matter that much. All right, that's it for our discussion on nutrition for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up on Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter. You can even email me. The email's on the About page at beagainecharacter.com. Remember to like the video, remember to subscribe, and please send it to your friends, okay? I want the word of nutrition to spread because honestly, we have an obesity epidemic right now. It's a problem, you know? So send this around, get this out there. The information is free. Enjoy. Remember, live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. If you go for 100% all the time, certain strict diets, your filming alarm went off, didn't it?